Alright, hi. So, in this video, I will show you guys what this neural net will be after training it 1,000 times and talking about few challenges I faced. Alright, so let me just load up the screen. Um, so like, I first intended this project to be, mm, oh wait, not this one. Oops. So this one. So I first intended this project to be spent about a day or two, but then obviously it got multiplied by four. So I spent about like 4 days on this project. It's just basically creating a snake AI with Q learning. I will make two or three more videos. One is about the code implementation, and the second one will be like about the theory of like Q learning and stuff. And you see, we already trained this snake 40 times, and it's pretty good, I will say. So basically, I will just briefly talk about some obstacles. There's like two important things in. So what we're doing is we're getting the state of this snake, and then putting it to a neural network, and it will predict what the action should be given the current state. And then if the mm, output is like good, then we will give it some reward. Otherwise, we'll give it a negative reward. So at first, um, what I did is that I just make it so that if the snake ate the fruit, the the score will be +10. And then if it died, the score will be -10. And then I just give the neural network the state, which is a list of, I will not really say pixel, but like 0, 1, or 2. 0 meaning it's like a white space. 2 mean it's a fruit, which is a red thingy. 3 means snake, which is like the snake body. And obviously, it did horribly. Otherwise, I would not spend like 4 or 5 days on this. So uh, it's already trained 100 times, and you see it got like 20 something, which is quite nice. So after seeing like it doesn't work, there's a famous say: if it doesn't work, just scale it up and it will work. So what I did is I made the neural network deeper and deeper, but it still doesn't work. So then I made it into a double Q learning network. I'll explain these in the later videos. And it still doesn't work. So I changed up the state a bit. Since the current state will be way too complex for the neural net, since if I just give it a list of what is happening for each grid, it might be very hard to for the neural net to identify um what it is like, what where's the danger, where's the um food. So what I did is I changed the state a bit. Instead of just creating this whole list, I made a bunch of variables to put in, like relative danger, the distance to the center, the x distance and the y distance, the food distance, distance to the top, and it worked a little bit. It's like after training it for like 1,000, 2,000 times, it can finally get like 1 to 5 points, but it's still quite bad. So then what I did is I simplified the state. So now the state is like a lot simpler. It's just the direction, the relative position to food, like whether the food is up compared to the snake's head or down. And then the relative danger, which means will it hit the wall if it continue to go straight? Will it hit the wall if it turn right? Will it hit the wall if it turn left? And these are basically the states. And it's doing better. But then what I realized is that the snake is keep on just turning in circles, which is very annoying. Since the the snake quickly realized that if the snake it can just don't do anything, he can survive and don't lose anything but don't gain anything. However, if he tries to get a fruit, there's a larger possibility that he will hit the wall. So what I did is that I made it so that the snake only have a possible move available, which means that if the snake moved like 200 steps and didn't, which is basically the size of the snake body times the size of the grid, if it's like how much steps it moved is more than that, he'll just consistently get a negative reward. So we will discourage the snake to just do it in circles. And then I realized it's useless since it's like just too brutal. So what the snake will do, it just keep on spinning in circles, and then when it reached about the limit, it will go for the food, which is not what I want to see. So I implemented a negative reward for survival, which means that um, every step that the snake took would decrease its score. So there's only two ways. So there's only one way to gain score now. It's getting the fruit, which made it a lot more efficient. And you see, after training about 200 times, 300 times, you can consistently getting about 10 scores, like 10 points, which is quite nice. And then in the next video, I will talk about the code, and I will just try to put this code in a GitHub link so you guys can just like copy paste the code. But yeah, after spending about 5 days, the snake is finally working, I will say. So I will just show you guys what it's like to train it 500 times. And it's doing pretty well, I will say. I can indeed improve the snake by tuning some hyperparameters, but yeah, it's doing quite well already. I will explain of these in the next video if you want to learn about the code implementation. And yeah, you can just look at these scores, look at how these snakes become longer and longer. This is sound kind of weird, but yeah, just so after 300 trainings, it's pretty consistent. They can consistently get about 20 points, and after you get 20 points, it's like the snake is getting so long that it would be very complicated for the snake to really it will increase the possibility of hitting himself by a lot. So for the first like about 10 points, the snake is just going straight for the fruit. And after the 10 points, we can see that it's like going more in a gridish way so that the snake will not really hit himself. But still, there's some randomization in this snake, and I will just test what like the best snake will be. Alright, so currently it's 18. Okay, it's doing worse and worse. Okay, can I pass 18? Yeah, I think like 20-ish is I would say like 25 is a max that snake can get if it trained for less than 500 times. But still, that's not bad, I would say, since I can only get like about that much. I would say I can only get about 20 points. Since, like, the thing about the snake AI is that even if you increase the speed of the snake by like 10 times, it will be still able to do that well since um it will get all the information every time, like every how do how do I phrase it? Like every time it moves. As a human, my like visual sense is like limited by the by how fast my brain process this will be slower since the transformation of information and stuff like those. And and please subscribe if there's yeah, I will probably do like I will expand this project onto more games like maybe Flappy Bird, um, and yeah, just some other games like some other simple games, maybe like Pawn or stuff like those. Wow. So if you want to see the next video, please subscribe. It will be about the code and then the theory of like double deep Q learning. uh, I mean, I do recommend you watching like this Stanford class about reinforcement learning. It's about an hour long, but there's a lot of useful information. Since I will just talk briefly about these. Alright, let's see. Since damn, it's getting 20s, 20, 26, 26. So I think that's the basically the max I can get for this snake. And I will try to share the code on GitHub. And yeah, basically that's it. Yeah, basically 20, 26-ish, 25 is the max I think this snake can get. Alright, the last epoch. Alright, it did horribly in the last epochs. But still, thanks for watching, and yeah.